Welcome to Scorched Earth. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant. If you don't know what your Moon or Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you. And then you should come back and watch the videos for your Moon and Rising signs, because they can give you a better idea of what's going on with you overall than you might get ordinarily from just your Sun sign. Tremendous squealing going on outside. Hopefully the microphone isn't picking that up too badly. Right, I want to express my gratitude for all those people who have subscribed and continue to subscribe. All the people that have liked and shared the videos, commented on them, sent me messages. I've had some really, really wonderful messages from people just reaching out to let me know how the videos have resonated with them, and I always love to hear from you. You know, there's people who have sent donations as well. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. This is a mid-month reading, so it's going to be slightly shorter than the general monthly ones. I'm going to pull 3 cards for where your energy is right now, 3 cards for what's coming towards you, and 3 cards for advice. Some signs have needed it more than others. I'd say I've just done Sagittarius's, and they just didn't need any advice at all, really, but I pulled some anyway. I don't really use set spreads because I'm kind of more of a freestyle reader, but I do, for some reason, really enjoy multiples of 3, so that's why I do it in that way. Okay? Like, because I love Tesla so much. If you wish to understand the secrets of the universe, you must first realise the significance of 369. I love those numbers, I really do. So, I think that's enough shuffling. I'll flip that round, shuffle it back in. So let's get 3 cards for Leo, please. Where is Leo right now? Think out Leo's energy. Oh, it's the Chariot. Turn that one back over. That's the first one. Notice how it's got a lion on it. I really like that. I'm using the Lost Forest deck, by the way. 2nd edition of which is on Kickstarter at the moment, the campaign therefore. So if you like the deck, I'd go and check it out, because I think it's absolutely phenomenal, personally. And I don't get paid to say that. I literally bought this with my own money and have just fangirled over it ever since. Right. 2 more cards for Leo, please. Where is Leo's energy right now? Lots of cards falling, nothing jumping out. Let's try that one more time. Need 2 more cards for Leo, please. There's that one. King of Oceans, very nice. That's a card of Scorpio in the Minor Arcana. Pinnacle of the Cup suit. Oh, and there's the other one. And the Page of Oceans, right. At the bottom of the deck, we've got Emperor. That's the card of Aries, followed by the Star, interestingly. Now, the Emperor talks about taking charge of your situation, of your circumstance, right? And maybe that's something that you're doing. Right? You're getting your home situation in hand, you know, in a way that maybe you've been letting slide, or maybe that just refers to Aries season, because we are there at the moment. The Star talks about trust and hope and vision as well. Right? And these 2 cards together speak about having a vision and then executing it. Right? Very important. The first card that you've got is the Chariot, and I'm really delighted to see this, because the Chariot, as well as being the card of Cancer, speaks about the self, right? The sense of self, self-discipline, self-governance, self-direction, all of these things, right? Your fundamental identity, right? It can also talk about duality and balance and all of those things, and those are important, but I feel that less with this depiction of the card than I do with normal ones of the Chariot. You know, this is somebody, you know, I actually love to see this with the Star, because when you take that vision from the Star and you take the Emperor, you're really getting on top of things. What we've got here is the victorious drive forwards, right? And this is the energy that you're in at the moment. Both this lion and this woman are on a fucking mission, right? Are you on a mission, Leo? It feels like it. The other 2 cards for your energy are the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, like I said, could be a Scorpio. And if you've got a Scorpio in your midst, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, in Venus, whatever, then it might be referring to them. But if not, this is emotional mastery, right? This is somebody getting on top of how they actually feel about something. And it fits very clearly with the tone of the reading so far, right? This is somebody who is not swayed by their emotions, but they're actually literally capable of sitting right in the middle of them, right? Not drowning, not sinking, but swimming and at ease with their emotions. And if that is the energy that you're sitting in at the moment, and I feel like it probably is, that's a really powerful place to be. I'm going to pull a clarifier or two just to try and take that apart a little bit. Whoop. The star. You and the King of Swords. That's really interesting. That just came up for the for Sagittarius, actually. King of Swords. At the bottom of the deck here, we've got the Hermit, followed by the Ace of Wands. This feels like you've spent a bit of time contemplating what it is that you really want from things, and maybe you've had a little spark of inspiration about something. Maybe there's a new project that you'd like to try, or a new, starting a new business, something like that. There's a sense of something new that's come to you. And I love the fact that we've got the Star and the King of Swords to clarify this energy. Because whether or not these kings are people, or whether these are energies that you're embodying, take it as it resonates to you. This is someone who sees things very clearly. Like, interestingly, as complementary energies, these kind of work better together than you'd credit, right? This one sometimes is accused of being a little cold, right? Because he doesn't really consider emotional issues as important. Well, no, that's not strictly fair, actually. He puts emotion to the side when he's making decisions because he works on reason and logic and all that kind of thing. Now, the King of Cups can sometimes be accused of, being subject to his emotions and stuff, but I really don't see that with the King. I see that as somebody who has his emotions, understands them, understands his drive, his emotional drive, but doesn't let it overwhelm him. So actually these two work together really, really well. There's consideration of the emotional issues, but there's a knowledge that occasionally it's all right to detach from emotional issues in order to make a logical decision, a rational decision, right? It's very balanced, actually. The Chariot talks about balance. This is balance as well. It's kind of mind and spirit, mind and heart working together for a vision that you've had of something. And also with the Star, I get trust and faith a lot. It's almost like this direction that you're moving in, right? You're putting your heart and your soul and your mind into it, and it's going to succeed. You know it's going to succeed because you trust that it's going to succeed. Now, the final card that you've got for your current energy is the Page of Oceans, which is the Page of Cups. Now, to me, usually that is small expressions of love in some respect. So it could be an apology, but I feel like the Strength card has just sat there face up on top of the deck there. But I feel like there's something a bit more to it than that. So let's have a little look. What is this Page of Oceans here? Ace of Cups. Uh-huh. Page of Oceans, please. Okay. Well, when the first clarifier came out, I was going to say this might be Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This could be a potential relationship that you have maybe just got into. You're taking things kind of slow, but there's a strong emotional basis for it, right? This is something that's kind of excited you. These two together speak very much of, a burgeoning new relationship. But then the Two of Cups came out, and there does seem to be a relationship on your mind. And There's a lot of love here. There's an awful lot of love here. I love the fact that the King of Swords has come out though, because for me that seems to suggest that you're not getting like, you know, washed away in a sea of emotions. You're not getting all fired up in a sea of, you know, fiery passion for anything. Like, this is tempered with logic and reason and a bit of rationality as well. But it's really quite beautiful. Right? We've got progression here, but taking it kind of slow. I really like that. Really, really like that. So let's have a look and see what's coming towards you. It's coming towards Leo, please, for the last 2 weeks of April. Fuck. I'm going to take those because they fell. I've just noticed, which I hadn't actually said and I really should do, both of these cards are cards of Aquarius, right? That's, the star is the card of Aquarius, and the strict astrological correspondence for the King of Swords is also Aquarius. So it's not just Scorpio that's on the board, we've got Aquarius as well. But the sign's not really that important, you know? Not when it's energetic, which is kind of how I'm feeling here. So, Justice. It's coming towards Leo, please. The Hermit's shown its face, but I'm going to put it back in because it didn't jump. It's coming towards Leo, please. Ooh, what's that? Oh, Strength. Okay. Wow. This is feeling quite powerful, actually. Coming about, and what's that? Oh, no. Oh, okay. 8 of Swords, but it's come out in reverse. At the bottom of the deck now, we've got the 6 of Earth, which talks about balance, right, for me, primarily. It can talk about charity and it can talk about all those kind of things, but it talks about rectifying a balance. And it's really interesting that we've got a card here that talks about balance, and then the first card that's coming towards you is also a card that speaks about balance. This is Justice, right? Underneath the 6 of Earth, we've got the Moon, which is all about the internal space, right? We've already seen the Hermit. There's a bit of inner work going on with you at the moment, and I really, really like that. So, I was initially sad, but it's actually come out in reverse, so it's all cool. That's the 8 of Swords. So the first card that you've got is Justice. Now, this could be legal situations of some description. So, we're talking about any kind of court proceedings, a divorce, that sort of thing, right? That's possible in a flat interpretation of this. Signing contracts sometimes. But in a broader sense, and I tend to interpret the major arcana in a broader sense wherever possible, it's a sense of natural justice and also karma, right? Justice is one of the pillar cards, and it's about that, that underpinning kind of universal law of right and wrong, right? And where there are things that are unjust, in time they become rectified, because that is how the universe works with these things, right? And getting such a powerful sense of this card, and particularly with regard to the card afterwards as well. There's a warrior spirit about you at the moment, Leo, which I'm really enjoying. You're just kind of wielding this sword of truth with your big old wings. It's such a strong reading, almost losing my words here, like the Chariot. That's such a bold depiction of the Chariot, right? That's, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know what you're ready to fight for as well. Tell me about Justice, please. Why is Justice here for Leo? The Hermit. Again. It's almost like, I feel like if there are any injustices that have been done to you, you're gonna see a karmic swing the other way now. But I feel like you're wielding the sword here, right? You're the one who's bringing the justice. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you're going and lopping off people's heads. I don't kind of feel that. I feel like you're bringing your own justice to your own situation, completely regardless of other people, because it's all about you. It's all about the self, you know. You've got the Hermit card, going within and finding the answers. Get one more card for justice. Oh. Ace of Swords, you're finding your truth. That's incredible. I love that. Ace of Swords. What is it that justice wields if it's not the Ace of Swords? I don't know what it is. The second card that you've got is Strength, and I just love this depiction here. Look at that. How powerful a depiction that is, right? That's you against all the cosmological forces of the universe, and you've got a fighting chance, right? Because you know who you are, you know what you fight for. Those two cards together are so powerful. Tell me about the Strength card. Why is that here for Leo, please? You will answer me. Come on, please. Why is Strength here for Leo? Strength. Strength is clarified by Strength. Leos, you are really aligning yourself with your purpose, I feel, strongly. The Empress. I've got 6 cards here that I'm dealing with, right, for what's coming towards you, and 5 of them are major arcana. Like, something big is coming, and I hate it when the tarot does this, because you go, what is the big thing that's coming? And they go, well, it's going to be huge. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's huge. The thing that I would say is that, you know, obviously Strength is one of 2 cards that represents Leo in the major arcana. The other one is the Sun, right? And generally, up until fairly recently, whenever I saw the Strength card, my gut kind of dropped a little bit, because, you know, whilst Leos are famous for having all of this strength, the sad fact of the matter is that it's usually built through surviving really difficult circumstances, right? And so the only circumstances where you are required to draw upon that strength are things of a similar sort of nature. So when you see the Strength card, you're like, oh shit, things are going to be hard, right? Interestingly, I feel more excited than dread here at the moment, because there's so much power radiating off this, right? The Empress card. The Empress is all about fertility and abundance and bringing new things into the world. Often she's depicted as pregnant because she is literally birthing new things into the world. And it feels like whatever it is that you stand for, whatever it is that you're fighting for, whatever it is that you've really gone within and discovered your truth about, what you really believe in, right? You are going to have to fight for it. And you're going to have to fight pretty hard, but Leo, that's why you're here, right? Now, I've been talking to Taurus for quite a long time about this sense that I've had over the last, well, I would say maybe 6 weeks or so, that they were being required to level up, right? There was a collective ascension going on because the other signs needed them, right, to be the best possible version of the Taurians that they were, right? And it's something that I felt for, to a lesser degree, to Aquarius, because they've always kind of got their eye on the horizon anyway, and then their readings have been about stopping themselves from getting distracted by small details, because that's not what Aquarians are about, right? They are the big picture people. They're the ones with the vision. They're the ones looking ahead, right? We rely on them for that. There's been this kind of fixed sign ascension, right? Scorpio's struggling with some stuff, but for them it seems more about kind of cracking open that armor and releasing some love into the world, because they've struggled with it for a long time. And you know, if you've ever watched any of my videos before, I've spoken about this, the eclipse season that Leo went through, where we were robbed of just about everything that we valued in our life. Like, it was a cruel awakening, but it's like everything was taken from us and we had to rebuild from the bottom up. Now it feels like this is the point of it, Leo. I don't feel like I'm overstating it here, not with this combination of cards as I'm seeing as it is here. Like, Taurus's ascension isn't anywhere near on the same level as what Leos have gone through, but they have something to contribute, and what you have to contribute is coming up now. It's coming here, right? We're getting ready to bring in new things into the world, and if that's, which it possibly is, just fighting for how we see the world, you know, making the world as we have the vision to see it should be. Maybe that's it. But this fight here, you know, and it's almost like maybe Taurus are the strong shoulders that we need to stand on so that we can reach with our swords to, you know, fight the things. I'm actually kind of excited. This is amazing. And then we get to the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords this way up talks about self-sabotage. It talks about feeling trapped by your own mind. Like it's overthinking a little bit. It's looking to other people for salvation, is what it is, right? In a standard depiction, there's a woman standing there and she's kind of bound and she's got a blindfold on and she's on a beach and there's swords all around her and stuff. She's literally just stood there because her fear makes her perceive that she's in greater danger than she is, and instead of fighting to free herself, it's kind of better the devil I know than I don't. I'm going to wait for someone to come along and white knight me, rescue me, all that kind of thing, right? Leo's like, fuck off, I'll save myself. Thank you very much. I do not need anyone to come and do this for me. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the High Priestess, you know, incredibly spiritual card. And the collective ascension for Leos was definitely part of discovering their spirituality and their connection to source, right? Rebuilding themselves from the inside with that connection in mind, right? Always honoring that connection. And that's where that massive spiritual growth came from for us as a sign. Directly underneath, we've got the sun, right? You, Leo, are exactly where you need to be for what comes next. Everything that you've experienced, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, this is what happens when spirit comes and goes, yes, this is the right thing. Keep going. Everything that you've experienced and you've gone through up until now is bringing you to the place where you need to be to do what comes next. Tell me about your Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords in reverse, please. Queen of Wands. Strictly it's Aries, but I would see myself as the Queen of Wands anyway, right? This is fire sign energy here. We've got Judgment has flown out of the deck here as well, right? This is can sometimes be about old situations, you know, resurrecting and stuff like that, but this feels bigger than that, you know. This is kind of like, this is Judgment Day kind of stuff. We're talking about making a conscious decision to do what is right, I think. A conscious decision to honour our energy and our strength and do what we were here to do. Tell me about the Eight of Swords in reverse, please. There's a lot of cards kind of pinging out to the side. I'm not taking them because they've got to jump. I want one more card for this, please. Eight of Swords in reverse. Oh, is that the World? And there it goes again. Ooh. It's big. Whatever it is, it's big. We've got the Chariot at the bottom of the deck now, like, and the Ace of Wands directly underneath that. It was so important. Hierophant there, like, Leo, you're going to need to lead. Like, this is what you're here for, right? You're the royalty of the zodiac, and the other signs look to you for the leadership, right? The bulls have got the back. The bulls are you know, huddling together and you know, creating a shelf for us to get up on so everybody can fucking hear us. But this is the end of a cycle. This is something new coming in, right? If you've been watching any of the astrology this year, like from about last summer onwards, all of the astrologers were talking about this, the Great Awakening, actually. I mean, most of them didn't use that phrase. I don't know who coined it, but there was a sense of things changing, of things not being the way that they had been for such a long time. There was talk of the fall of the patriarchy and all sorts of things. Like, something's coming to completion, and you're going to play a major part in doing that. I mean, I feel like it's going to kind of broadside you as well, a little bit. I just don't think you're going to see it coming, but when you do realise what is happening, you will step up to the plate, because that's what Leos do. We are born to lead. Whereas with some of the other signs, I'm not going to mention the name for fear of offending them, kind of just want to lead for leading's sake. I think Leos are happy to be led by people that they have faith in. Right? But when they see that the leading is not happening, or they know they can do it better, that's when they step up and they take over. Right? And we get bad rap sometimes for being pushy and bossy and stuff, and it's like, no, we're just actually really good at this, right? And if you're not doing it properly, we're going to come and do it for you. Give me some advice for Leo, please. What does Leo need to know? Oh, flew out. Page of Earth. Ace of Earth. What does Leo need to know? The Devil reversed. That's beautiful. Page of Earth and Ace of Earth, for me, are both cards of new starts, right? Tangible, manifest new starts that you can perceive with your five senses in the 3D, right? We're not talking about the Ace of Wands, that creative spark inside of you that makes your blood run hot and you're just like, woohoo! Whether it's for a person or an idea that you've had, it's kind of intangible. The Ace of Cups, again, kind of intangible. It's that wash of love that you feel for another person or even for yourself, that's the thing. The Eight of Swords is that clarity of thought and expression, new ideas, new ways of seeing things. This one's about everything changing in front of you, right? It's new opportunities, and maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a promotion, all those kind of things, but it feels so much more profound than that, right? You're being asked to take this and move forwards with it. The Devil reversed. This way up, we talk about toxicity, we talk about fear, we talk about abuse, we talk about codependency, we talk about everything that would be considered a red flag in a person or a relationship or, whatever, all here. But ultimately, it all comes from a place of fear. I feel, Leo, that not only are you moving forward fearlessly, we've had strength come out twice, right? You are leading the charge. I feel like you are also alleviating the fear of other people, right? Because of the trust that they have in you and your leadership, right? The strength that you exhibit is inspiring to the other signs. And not all of the signs want to lead. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them want to follow. Some of them want to be shown the way. And you will do that for them. Wow. This feels like an incredibly important read, Leo, and I hope that you're on board with it, because I'm so excited about this, I can't even tell you. It's magic, but it feels like purpose, right? Truly stepping into your purpose, the reason why you're here and you've experienced everything that you ever have in your life, right? It's here. It's time to lead. I love you all. Let me know in the comments if it resonates with you, because it certainly resonates with me, and I know for a fact it's going to resonate for a couple of other Leo women that I know, without question, because we've talked about this coming. we witchy types have known about it for a little while. It's here. Right, take care. I love you all.